What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We're here with more Lackey Grand Prix 17 gameplay, and this will be round 4, the last round of this Lackey Grand Prix in the Swiss, at least. That is, there is going to be a top 4 top cut, and at least one of the two players playing this game is going to make it, potentially both, but there are, one of us does win this game outright. So there's going to be, by the end of this game, I guess, or at this point in the tournament, there's one undefeated player and 4 players that are 3-1, so that only have one loss, which means that one of those 4 players is going to bubble, kind of be right on the edge of top cut, and that will be determined by the loss soul differential of that player. And basically, or the loss soul differential, I guess, of all 4 players who are on the edge. So the player with the worst loss soul differential at the end of these 4 rounds, which I think we're the last game to be played out of the people who are in contention for that. And the let's just say going into this, I knew that my odds were kind of slim. If I did lose this game, I knew that my differential is not very good, so I'm actually not sure how the numbers would all worked out. I didn't do the math ahead of time. Maybe I should have, just so I was like, okay, I need to rescue at least this many lost souls. But either way, or I was kind of thinking either way, I don't think it would really change the deck that I was playing. Maybe it would make some impact on decisions I make during the game, but I didn't really care enough to put in all the effort for it, at least this time around. So what I did want to do is play a deck that I had kind of been thinking about, brewing in my mind for a little while after I was kind of looking through some of the new Israel's Inheritance cards. And I did for sure know that at some point I wanted to try out an Edomite defense, and I thought that it might be kind of fun to build specifically around this one card, the Inhabitants of Seir, which it's a card that you read and you just kind of, you gotta have a little, it's one of the ones that stood out to me, I guess, or I was just like, you know what, this will be kind of a fun symmetrical effect card that if I build around it and try to take advantage of the take advantage of the downside that it has on both of me and my opponent, then I can maybe swing things in my favor during the game through that. And so I just wanted to do a few I thought of a few fun ways to do that, and I wanted to incorporate those into a deck, see what it all would look like coming together like this. And I came up with this 57 card Joshua Edomites deck that is a little bit strange, and I think a little bit unrefined, certainly, that it probably could be a little bit better, but I kind of like the way that it turned out, at least from kind of a first draft perspective. And so, of course, this is the first game that I'll be playing with this deck that you will be watching here. And so there are definitely some things that, it's a little rough around the edges, but I like the way that it came together. So basically, the idea here is that the Inhabitants of Seir is a territory class character. It says if a player, so both my opponent and myself, uses a good search ability, they must banish a card from hand or territory. If blocking, you may play an evil OT fortress from deck. The if blocking part is good, but it's not really the main part in here. I mean, of course, getting out your Esau's land or getting out Sheol is nice, but the main part is that kind of symmetrical territory class effect, that if a player uses a good search ability, they must banish a card from hand or territory. The goal that I'm going to try to do to, kind of swing this into my favor is to get my opponent's cards into my hand or my territory, mostly my territory, and then just banish those when I do my good search abilities. So the ways to do that, I guess, that kind of came to mind were Faith of Jacob, kind of another uh, uh, very seldom played card from Cloud of Witnesses that I do actually remember some players, I think at least one, maybe two of my brothers, back when I had two that played more regularly. Um, I think at least Justin used this in like Type 2 multiplayer, and maybe Jordan as well. But basically, just using your opponent's offense for a turn could actually be kind of good. So when this card first came out, not too bad, but now not really going to see too much play. But you take 2 heroes in an opponent's territory to your territory until end of turn. If used by a Cloud hero during battle, you can add them to battle. I don't really care about that part. Basically, I just want to take 2 of my opponent's heroes to my territory for the turn, and then I'm going to use a couple good search abilities during my attack, most likely, and then I'm going to just banish the heroes that I took from them. And so we can do something similar with Stocks of Flax. You exchange 2 human heroes in territory with 2 heroes in an opponent's territory for 2 turns. And of course, like using that just kind of naturally flowed into using a Joshua offense. So that's sort of where the Joshua part came from, but also Joshua takes stuff from your opponent as well. So if you have stuff in hand that you took from your opponent, you can also use that as fodder to banish 2 inhabitants of Seer. But also just it worked out well with Stocks of Flax, because then you can let's see, use Bearers of the Ark to activate a Joshua artifact from deck. Fortunately, we got a couple of clay heroes in Joshua now with these 2 priests, so Faith of Jacob works well with that. Stocks of Flax can be activated on the Cloud of Witnesses Rahab, so she's in reserve, kind of similar to the Joshua Thieves deck that I had built that was just trying to play Promised Land over and over again. I did incorporate some of those pieces in this build as well. No Shrine to Artemis this time, but I do have Rahab with Lost Child Found and the Tabernacle to kind of cycle through and bounce Promised Land and get the take part there. So if I take some stuff with Promised Land or with the other Joshua stuff, I can banish that with Inhabitants, or I can do that with Faith of Jacob, Stocks of Flax, and the Remnant Lost Soul, which also has kind of dropped off the competitive scene for the most part in the last few years, given the reserve access rule, primarily, I guess, because of that. But in this deck, I feel like it works out fairly well. If you get it on turn 1, it's not ideal, but I do run Sheol, which also helps to recycle it. So if I take one of their characters to my territory, I banish it with Inhabitants of Seer, then when they do a search ability, they hopefully have to banish something if it's a good search ability, I guess, but then I can also trigger Sheol to put Remnant back on the bottom of my deck and maybe pull it out later, steal another character, so on and so forth. It is a little bit clunky, I will say. I mean, it's not really a like turbo kind of combo, like you pull this off as soon as you can and then you're gonna win the game because of it. It's kind of it's one of those combos where you only really want to use it if the cards that are part of it can also do things by themselves, which Remnant can be good in other cases, taking a territory class character that's annoying, or getting Rahab out of reserve. Another way to do that. Stocks of Flax is one of those, and I'm like, I don't know if that's really going to be worth it. And Faith of Jacob, of course, is kind of the same way. It's not really it's not super reliable if they have ways to negate your territory class characters like Distressed, or they're negating evil cards in your territory like Chamber of Angels or Elizabeth, stuff like that. Then it's not ideal. It's going to negate Inhabitants of Seer, and I'm not playing like Overtaken to make it CBN, which I don't know. Maybe I could do that. Maybe there's an idea there, because you get the trigger off Captain of the Host and Stone Carriers. So maybe Overtaken is a thought for this deck. Making my characters CBN, I don't know, getting Husham CBN. It's kind of nice. I might consider that for future iterations of the deck, if there are any, but I could certainly maybe do without one or both of these curses, or maybe I could put endless treasures in here instead of stalks of flax, or I don't know. I guess if I'm going all in on with overtaken, then I want stalks of flax still. But the other downside of stalks of flax is that you also have to give them 2 of your heroes that they can also then just banish with inhabitants of Seer when they do good search abilities. But maybe, just maybe, you activate stalks of flax during your prep phase, and then use Book of the Covenant in the Tabernacle to grab Oath of Purity, and then you bounce the 2 heroes that you gave to your opponent before you go into battle. That's just a thought, something you could do. The other idea is you can give them Rahab, who conveniently protects herself and any of the other Joshua heroes that you give to your opponent from harm, which inhabitants of Seer would be that. So that is kind of another little niche perk, or like just kind of something that works out. A reason to play another reason, I guess, to play the Cloud of Witnesses Rahab, which I just thought was kind of funny and kind of cute. But if you activate stalks of flax on Rahab and then give your opponent Rahab, and I don't know, maybe one of your priests or something that they're not going to be able to get too much value from with like banding to your offense, maybe stone carriers or something, then that's not too bad. Although if you do give them Rahab, then you can't bounce them with Oath of Purity. So you can remember that, I guess. You can also, if you have Rahab and you have Lost Child Found, you can give them the heroes and then do Lost Child Found, bounce your Promised Land and the 2 heroes. That also works. So it's not something I'm just too worried about with Stocks of Flax, but also I realize that Stocks of Flax by itself just not really all that great. So you kind of got to lean into the combo, which was what I was trying to do by having like Darkness in here. Maybe I don't know, maybe Lawless would be better in here than trying to do some of the OT Lost Soul Unity stuff. I definitely missed on putting Humble in here, which was a little bit disappointing. As I was looking through the Lost Souls in the lineup, even at a 57 card deck, when I've got 8 options, I was kind of feeling like I was missing something. And it wasn't until I was in the game with Tim, which, did I mention that I'm playing Tim? By the way, I'm playing Babooni Tim. So I was already going into this thinking like, this is maybe a risky deck to play against a player who's the reigning national champion, who's most likely playing his nativity deck that he's been refining. And I did account for that in some ways with this, and I think it only goes so far though, unless you're like really building the whole deck around being kind of competitive in that scene, and also just having the tools and stuff that you need in order to answer some of the difficult questions that nativity poses, I guess. So anyways, Humble, all that to say, I'm playing Tim, and Humble, I realized during the game, was something that I forgot to put in here. Probably would take the place of like Color Guard, or maybe Aimless. I don't know. Those are kind of, or maybe Covet, and then Lawless comes in too, or something. I don't know. I did want to have Covet in here to try to take away an opposing Distressed that would be negating my Inhabitants of Seer. Color Guard was sort of one of those tech slots, but also, I mean, it's just good in the kind of choose the blocker meta and stuff. But I was just thinking like, against a Mary, it might be nice to have an extra layer of protection. Esau's Land also fills that role, but Esau's Land can be reserved by Mary, and then it opens up the rest of the guys on future turns, I guess. But I don't know. I was kind of toying with the defense a little bit and kind of making sure that I had at least some ways to answer nativity in case that was what Tim was going to play. I mean, we just kind of have the benefit of being able to plan it to some degree for these Lackey Grand Prix, because you know who your opponent is in advance, and you can change up your deck up until you play the game. So it's just kind of the nature of this unofficial tournament. And so I was like, if Tim is playing nativity, I can at least plan for it a little bit, because I don't think that this deck is going to be super competitive, but I wanted to at least put on a good show at the very least. And I can't say I was necessarily disappointed with the way the game turned out or the deck performed, but I think the plans that I put in place weren't necessarily didn't pan out quite as well as I had thought maybe they would. But basically, I was wanting to try out kind of this a similar thing with the defense to like with Thieves and Sapphira, where you can play Thieves or like NT Crimson, I guess, and kind of have Sapphira built in there as like I found I guess that she was a character that I enjoyed playing in my Thieves defenses if I wasn't doing like Unity Thieves or like as much of an orange splash, because people just weren't playing as many answers to her. And a lot of times with Thieves, I was playing Colosseum and the Cross to toss the cannot be negated stuff, and people didn't always have like CBP answers. And she worked well with Golgotha, making your first enhancement on her CBP. So I was thinking that with Edomites, we got two fairly similar characters to Sapphira with Haydad, ruler of Avith, and draw 2 or banish an artifact, and then you can banish a card from hand and negate heroes and enhancements. So kind of works well with Joshua because you can take stuff from their hand and then just banish it to get a benefit here. Also get to draw a couple cards, which is nice, or just get rid of an artifact, which is also nice when you got Book of the Covenant and Books of the Covenant, I guess, and other 20 shekels and those mean artifacts going around. So between Haydad and Terrified Chiefs, who you can draw 1 or increase this card XX this turn, negate other cards in battle CBP, which is also significant when people are running things to negate evil cards, or like Lazarus and Accusers. Tim was running that in the most recent version of his Nativity deck. So having CBP options is always good. And then combining those two characters, along with, of course, the rest of the defense, but combining those with the CBP options that are available in Crimson now, which we've got Avoiding Edom, banish up to 2 good cards. You can draw some cards if used by an Edomite and then cannot be prevented. Dissension in Antioch, withdrawal of heroes cannot be prevented, and Hypocrisy, to bounce any number of heroes to owner's hands, cannot be prevented. Also works well with the Stocks of Flax play and kind of resetting heroes. But of course, if you're playing, it works well. Yeah, works well with the Stocks of Flax because that's not a territory class enhancement. I was thinking like Faith of Jacob and Stocks of Flax, but probably don't need to do them both in the same turn. So if Faith of Jacob will take up a territory class enhancement slot for the turn or whatever, but Stocks of Flax will not because it's an artifact. So that's how that works. Anyways, so if you do, Bearers of the Ark to activate Stocks of Flax, that is a good search ability. So you trigger Inhabitants of Seer, you get to banish one of them right away, and then in your discard phase or something, you can play Hypocrisy to bounce your heroes back. So anyway, between these 3 CBP enhancements, I figured that with Haydad and Terrified Chiefs, I would be in good shape, and I thought that would actually be a pretty good matchup for Nativity because Nativity doesn't run a whole lot of CBP enhancements. Really, Nativity doesn't run a whole lot of good battle winners. I think a lot of, at least the way that Tim has built his Nativity deck is relying a lot on the tossing with Herod's Temple and then like doing the dominant rescues and stuff. So I also wanted to have some add to battle stuff, which is where Worship of Edom and Sheol came in. But it's still you still kind of have to have enough of it, have it at the right time to make it effective against that. I'm not trying to foreshadow too much here, but you probably already know where the game's going. So anyways, I thought that this defense would have a decent shot, and I think that maybe it would, and it still does, but I think there's some refining that needs to happen with this deck. In particular, maybe bringing it down to 50 cards just so it's a little bit more consistent. I think that would maybe go a long way. I don't know if the leaning into Inhabitants of Seer thing is really worthwhile, so maybe that's where the cuts would come from, the Faith of Jacob and Stocks of Flax, Cunning Remnant. But that's not a lot of fun. I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to banish some stuff with Inhabitants of Seer. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do in this game against Tim. And we'll see if we actually get to that point in the game or not. But I was excited to at least try it out, and maybe I will, kind of work on refining the list a little bit, just because I think it's kind of a fun deck to play, or list to try out. I do like this defense, with the CBP stuff. I think that can go a good ways if maybe in a deck that uses the cross, maybe Colosseum. I think that that could work out pretty well. So that is basically the deck. The offense is fairly similar to what I was running with the Joshua Thieves, but of course we've got a few more good enhancements in here. The deck is a little bigger, so the other maybe kind of a tech for Tim's deck, since I knew if he was playing Nativity Herods, he was going to be leaning into Herod's Temple. So I did main deck this Battle Cry, which is 7-0. But I also was thinking, like, if I'm playing a 57 card deck, having an extra draw ability enhancement isn't such a bad idea. So having a couple 7-0 enhancements to be able to toss through a Herod's Temple and maybe knock some of those Herods down, not the worst idea. Joshua's Sword is also good for that. Crumbled from a Shout in reserve. So I had some plans. I had plans. But we'll see how well the execution went there. One thing that I actually, last thing I promise. Okay, maybe I shouldn't promise, but last thing I wanted to comment on with the Joshua offense that I kind of picked up watching Tyler's video with his Joshua offense I don't remember if he had this in particular in I think he did. I think he had Joshua's officiators in reserve in the Joshua purple offense. Maybe it was just Eliezer that was in reserve. Maybe this was in his actual Joshua deck. I'm trying to think. I should have done a little more research. But anyways, at least in the Joshua deck, I did kind of like his idea of having Joshua's officiators in the reserve. Just because Joshua can grab it and then ban to him right away and then equip Joshua's Sword. And the downside with that is that Joshua's officiators then can't you can't do it on turn 1, I guess. And I was thinking that in this deck, because I had Crowd's Choice and because I had Buckler and Victorious Being, Angel of the Wind, Stone Carriers, I was like, getting these pieces together on turn 1 doesn't seem terribly unreasonable. And I think that is true. However, I still think that maybe Joshua's officiators in reserve makes more sense, especially if I go down to 50. If I take this down from 57 and I have to cut a dominant, then maybe it's Buckler. I don't know. I do kind of like Buckler because getting to Captain of the Host is fairly important. Getting that early, I should say, is fairly important. So there are some things that I would potentially reconsider, with the dominant slots, and that would maybe affect whether or not Joshua's officiator stays in the main deck or goes into reserve. But that was one thing that I noticed in Tyler's build and just kind of toying with and thinking about a little bit during this game is is that something that would have been better? And I think that the answer is probably yes. But of course, in those, if during the game I had been able to get Joshua and Joshua's officiators on turn 1 to equip Joshua's Sword right away, then I would have felt the opposite way. I would feel like, okay, this is definitely the right choice to have officiators in the main deck. So that's something that's best measured over the course of maybe a few games, and that's maybe good advice for you if you're testing and refining a deck. Don't just base it off of one game's performance or how it turned out in one game, but try different things out, give it at least a few games and see how it feels. Okay, that is pretty much everything I think that I wanted to mention. The Edomites defense, I would definitely think I would probably build a little bit differently if I wasn't leaning into the CBP stuff. I don't know if Haydad goes in the main deck, or maybe Terrified Chiefs goes in the main deck because of that, if I'm not playing all 3 of these CBP enhancements. But in this build. I think that's the right. Or I liked the way that the defense came together to do that in particular. But there definitely were some things from Israel's Inheritance, some cards enhancements and stuff that I was like, oh, I wish I could play that, but did get kind of tight. So definitely some good variety in these themes, and I do like to see that. I do. I'm excited to try different things out and keep on building with these new cards. So before we get into the game, let's talk a little bit about these new cards and where you can get them if you are in need. You can head over to Your Turn Games. They are a sponsor of my channel, but also just a great addition to the redemption community in general because they supply us, a lot of us, I guess, with our redemption supplies, materials, and our singles, our starter decks, complete sets, battle boxes, booster boxes, display boxes, all that. You can head over to here, get some display boxes with the of Israel's Inheritance, $108 for one box. I just opened a couple of these last week, as you saw, a couple boxes, and it's kind of fun. Open them up, and if you do open them up, then you should record them into a video because I always think that's fun. And like people, I think people are more likely to watch a box opening than gameplay. If I'm being honest, like that's just people eat that stuff up, even if they don't play the game, often or competitively. People like to just see what you get. You do some hunting for some foil ultra rares, then it's even better. So that is my advice if you're trying to make videos or something. Do some box openings, but also you can get the boxes from Your Turn Games. So all that said, let's go ahead and get into the Tim with game. No, the game with Tim, and yeah, we'll see you in there. All right, I should roll. You roll a 5. I rolled a 3, so it's up to you.
I'll go first.
Of
I got
course
some
you will.
stars. I got the stars.
Okay.
The stars, the stars, the stars, the stars, the
My
stars.
goodness.
All right, I love stars because they add like 10 minutes to the game time. All right, first things first, let's take a look at the hand over there.
Uh-huh. You'll see
The
my
actual,
plethora of stars.
oh, buckler. He's buckling over there. And the Edomites, all right. Draw X is 6. Okay, interesting. Yep, yep.
At least
Dr.
you didn't
Flax, oh,
at least you didn't hit
spicy.
the delivered with the Archelaus.
Yeah, that's such a good combo. Okay, and then let's do the Archelaus top deck Buckler, and I'll be top decking Second Coming.
Sure.
And then I'll be protecting Nativity. Let me cover up your hands. There's none. Let me do John top deck at Dome. Do, 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 do. And then
Seems good.
Virgin Birth, I will underdeck to look at the top. How many? I get to look at the top. 6, top 6. And get to take one. Take this.
Whoa. Did not see that one coming.
Okay. Those, let's see. I think I did all my stars. Yep.
All right. I will be starless.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to activate the cross and attack you at John. Revealing the resurrection, draw 2. Drew Hopper, you're blocked.
Wow. 2 cards. You find the hopper, huh?
I knew it was on top.
Oh, right. Yeah, because Virgin Birth puts them all back on. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I was thinking that it underdecked or something. Yeah. Well, I can't do much about that. Unfortunate.
All right. You're up.
3 cards. Okay. I will put down Esau's land, I guess.
Mm.
Activate. Yeah, let's activate Joshua's Covenant. And I will go exchange a card from hand with a Joshua card from deck. Let's do. Oh, there he is. Let's just get the commander.
There he is.
Yeah. And I have to put something in there. We're gonna put this card in there. I guess, yeah. And let's put down an artifact. I will put down Joshua. Put down Bearers of the Ark. And I will go to battle.
Okay.
I'm going to check with Joshua. Can't go to reserve. I will ban to Captain of the Host. Draw 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's what we
Nice.
like to see. There's a covet for you.
Yep.
Oops, wrong person. Hmm. Let's see what fun souls you've got here. Ooh, should I grab us accusers?
Yeah.
Um, doesn't seem ideal.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, so
Do it.
there's two that I like the idea of. I think we'll go with this distressed,
Mm.
and then captain will ban to Bearers of the Ark, and I will draw 2 more.
I think I'll go Hair to Grippa and negate your bearers, your initiative.
All right. It's a little unfortunate. Yeah, I guess I will pass.
I'll pass.
Hmm. All right, let's put down a Sheol, and yeah, I will pass turn.
Okay. No stars. I used up all my stars on turn 1. Um, I'll,
Hmm.
I'll play my territory class card. Look at your hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll delve me some hand knowledge. Ooh, that's good to know about. Full one wives. Oh, the amazing faith. Oh, getting tossed by the cross is so brutal.
Yeah, I think I should have. I don't know. Maybe I should have played the buckler before you blocked
Yeah,
while
and
Bears
you
was
just
working.
just cash in and grab something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah, figuring that you probably had like Deceiver or Harris Guard or something that could go get Agrippa.
All right, I'm gonna search my deck for Silver Card here. The world's my oyster, as they say. Yeah, I do like a good silver card. Not gonna lie.
Doesn't even have to be a good silver card. Could be a neutral one.
Oh, I guess I could get Golgotha, right?
Yep, in theory.
That's good. Cool. I'm just really not sure what to do right now. Gotta beat foreign wives. That's all I know. I think the best way to do that is just grabbing Spanky Pants. Okay.
Spanky pants.
Spanky Pants. The messy he's a messy guy. Okay. The cross has soived its purpose. Put
Yep,
down Harity. Harity. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I'd love to go to battle now.
sure thing.
I'm going to attack you with the Messianic Messenger. Go to deck for a nativity card. Grabbing grab Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
All right, your block.
Joseph. Hmm. Well, I guess we're blocking with foreign wives.
All right, I'll play a dominant. Play
Uh-huh.
the resurrection. Go to deck. Play a fortress. Grab temple and the reservoir.
Yep.
I'll bend to Joey, John, and this guy. Okay, John will reveal Star Bethlehem, toss the next, and I'll draw two.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joseph will go to reserve because it's not turn one, so I can go to reserve now. Grabbing shepherds.
Yep.
Okay, that is my. It's your initiative now.
Get a shield trigger. Guess I will go ahead and do that. Um, do I want to toss an enhancement? Hmm. I think I will just pass. But
Um, Let me think if I want to play anything here.
sure.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, during my discard phase, play down the Golgotha, Jolgotha. Grab this guy, and I will put down this guy and pass the turn to. Oh wait, and yeah, pass the turn to you now.
Yep. Draw a
Did
3.
stress go to the bottom of my deck?
Yes, should have.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just double checking.
Yep. Okay. So you've got my neutrals negated now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's no point in leaving that active. All right, I will go ahead and play the buckler.
Yep.
And now we think a little bit. Yeah, let's do stone carriers.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go to battle.
Mm-hmm.
I will attack with stone carriers, and I guess I will negate your Golgotha.
Okay.
Because I can.
As he can. All right, Stone Carrier. Let's think about this.
It's all the same to you. I'd rather you didn't, but
I didn't really know what to do. I think I would love to go to Herod's Guard, prevent the next. Go to Herod Agrippa, negate your bearers of the ark.
all right. All right, we'll go ahead and do the exchange. This be unique Joshua hero. So we can do that one. Yeah, let's do Caleb. And I am going to go ahead and draw 2.
Okay.
All right. My initiative.
I'm going to activate Herod's Temple here.
Oh, that was the one I was worried about you having.
No, it's in the reserve now. All right, your initiative.
Um. All right. Well, I guess I will toss this battle cry for 7.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Okay. Let's put down a tabernacle and. All right. I will pass turn.
All right, here comes a soldier in.
Yep. Figured it couldn't be too
All
far
right.
away.
Oh wait, yeah. So one for lost souls and then one for harvest. Does
Right.
it matter if one's NT or not?
Here, I got you.
Okay,
Oh,
thanks.
never mind. Maybe not. My
Um,
my thing doesn't work anymore. My macro apparently.
yeah, mine broke too. All right, I'm gonna activate star ability of delivered here. Discard top card of your deck.
Oh, I suppose I can let you do that after the
Son of God,
lost
son of God,
souls.
son of God.
Well, I mean, yeah. Technically, you
Oh,
should have done that before the
well,
lost souls, but it's yeah.
it's good too, I suppose. Lost soul token trigger. There you go. You got prosperity now.
Well, okay, so that one I don't think would trigger because
Oh, is it
you do
souls
delivered
before star?
before you do
Oh,
delivered before harvest and lost souls are technically active.
oh, my bad. My bad. Okay,
All good.
it's time to do some deliverance. I'm gonna activate an artifact from my deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's your favorite. It has 20 in its name.
Yep.
20 shekels. I will bounce your Caleb
Cool.
and play a card from your hand. Lovely. Just lovely. I gotta read all these Edomite cards. Yep. Okay. I would love to go to my rescue attempt.
Sure.
Victorious being, hope I don't draw Mary, thank goodness. Go to deck, get the Mary, negate and reserve your priest boy, your what's his name, terrified guy.
Heaven Esau's land that is protecting him, I believe.
Oh yes. I was so short sighted. So I already targeted him, so I guess he's negated, but he can't be prevented.
Yep.
Alright, do I want to search and be a shuffle more lost souls away? So you have one shield trigger right now, right?
Yep.
Pending. Okay. Yeah, I think it's. Have I played my? Yeah, I played my TC for turn. Okay. Yeah, I'll get this. Go ahead. Do your shield stuff.
Feelings. Yeah, we'll just get rid of the tokens, I guess.
Okay.
2 triggers this turn. You have no cards in your banish pile. Yeah, I guess we'll block with Terrified Chiefs, and I will draw a card.
hmm
Hey, look, it's a hopper for me.
Okay. I would like to play a dominant. I'm just gonna angel your guy.
Hmm. Oh, I guess that does that. All right. I will give you a prosperity.
Okay. I got 2 on the board.
Playing the angel version, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's never. It's yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's gonna be it for me. You're up.
All right. Go for more sad souls. Yeah, a lot of sad souls. Um. All right. I guess we'll do the star on teaching. Hit your top card.
It's orphans away.
Keep getting lost souls coming out. Okay. Yeah, I believe Res Revealer is on, right? Yeah. Assume?
Yeah,
No,
Red's revealer is on, right?
yeah. It didn't have to. Did it have to reactivate when Distress
Uh,
was out? Or just
Stress.
the ongoing ability, I think, just
Oh,
turns on.
I think it got rescued in the same phase that I put him out, so is he back?
Um, I'm pretty sure the ongoing ability just turns on no matter what.
Does it like have to like recheck or something? I don't know how that works.
Okay, cool. Correct. Ongoing abilities like negate turn on immediately when the negate ends. So
Okay,
it
so Red's
was
revealer is back.
as thought. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So
No.
my lost souls do not work, and the tokens are made. Um. All right. No upkeep triggers. Don't believe. Yeah. Let's start out with a teaching in parables. I'd like to negate your resurrection revealer. And I'll go take a peek at that hand. And I think I want to put that executioner back.
Hmm. They needed him.
Exactly. Okay, and then see my neutrals are on. So
Lovely. Just lovely.
what do I do about that? I guess that would be not good. Okay, I guess we're gonna do Joshua's Covenant, and we'll go to deck. I guess I'll just grab uh, Joshua's Command, and we'll send away this card and shuffle. Yeah, okay. Maybe before battle, I'm gonna put down this character here just to make sure
All
that
right.
I'm good, and then
Yeah.
we'll attack with Angel of the Winds.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we got to do this one. We'll do a Stone Carriers.
You just love that guy, don't you?
Yeah, he's kind of nice. I will negate your Lost Souls, I guess.
Okay. Bum, 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 Stone Chariot. He's the hero that everybody wants. All right. Can I play a dominant?
Sure.
We'll do Star Bethlehem. I have 4 nativity. So I would be looking at your hand, drawing 4 cards, looking at the top card of a deck, and then I'll discard the top card of your deck first.
Sure. Charioteers.
And then I'll be looking at your hand. And then I will be looking at the top card of my deck. I don't know how to look. Oh, yeah, I can do VP. I can do slash VP. VP1, PT1. And I can underdeck it or not. I will not underdeck it.
Oh.
And then I'll draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Prosperity, you're not getting neutrals, so I can do prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that. Do you have any pending shield triggers right now from all that? Oh, I don't know.
Don't think so. Everything was
Oh,
just
I
reveal
got
and look
orphans.
and draw.
I got orphans online anyways.
There's also that.
I'll discard this guy.
Yep.
Draw 2. And then I would love to go to prevent the next into this guy grabbing this guy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Your initiative or your trigger.
Yeah. So I can do stone carriers. Yeah. Okay. I will go to deck.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab Caleb. Conveniently cannot be prevented. Band to Joshua
Yep.
Warrior, which will be Captain. We'll draw 3.
Yep.
Band to Joshua. Or sorry, I have to negate first. I will negate your Herodiantivis.
I'll put back the futile inquisition.
And then Joshua. I will take Rahab from reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And band to. Maybe that one's better. Kind of like keeping my secrets. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to Band of the Trumpeting Priests, and I will take your
Yeah.
shekels.
Yep. All right, my initiative.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna play no straw. No, just kidding. I die. Um, you can have. Did you negate harvest or lost souls?
Lost souls.
All right, you can have harvest.
Cool. All right. Well, so put down a Rahab. Put down this artifact. And put down spies at AI. And let's do another artifact. And I
Yep.
will pass turn.
Okay, disoriented coming down. Disoriented will negate your. Yo, I'll negate shield.
Cool.
No upkeep triggers. Put down this.
No.
Stopper. The stopper. Put down Colosseum.
Yeah.
I want to look at your hand, but I can't. So those I shall be content not to
Gotta
change.
play fair.
Yeah, I
Just
gotta play not dirty for once. Um, this is gonna be a tough turn. Yes, sir, Bobby. All right, I think I need to play my territory class card for turn. The Coming Prince to top deck. This, and then I think I would love to go to my rescue attempt.
Yep.
Okay, go Gabriel, negate Esau's land.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians protecting. Magi. Joseph grabbing nativity card from deck. Into Mary. Mary, negate and reserve your Haddad.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah, you're negating neutrals still.
I'll grab Magnificat off of that. And before blocks, I'll play Star. I'll top deck a Dom with John. I'll draw. I'll look at your hand. Discard evil card from reserve. Protect. And I'll do the Virgin Birth. First, I'll discard an evil card. First I'll look at your hand. Um, yeah, okay. And then I'll do light. Then I'll discard evil card from your reserve. I'll just discard that guy.
Who shame. Yep.
And then I would like to top deck a dominant. Top deck Synagogue. And then I'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Accusers, distressed. And I get to do virgin birth last, but certainly not least. Grab Herodias.
Sure.
Okay, that's my
All
attack.
right.
And your block.
And everybody but Guardians is protected.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess. Okay. I didn't completely do the math because I wasn't sure. Oh, you've got accusers now anyway. Basically, I've got crowd's choice, and I've got to decide if I want to play it as good or evil. Because if I just play it as good, I could go get Son of God and then,
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit better differential and maybe have a better chance of making top cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't really do the math on where everyone else was, though, because I know my differential's pretty bad.
Yeah, so this play could get you in the top 4 or it could not get you in the top 4.
Yeah. I think if you didn't have accusers, then. And you negated Esau's land anyway. Yeah, but if I played as good and I find out that there's a card in my deck that would actually work, I don't think there is. It feels bad just to give up, though. I've had these enhancements for so long.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. You got to play Teaching in Parables this game. That's the only enhancement you successfully played.
is that it? Oh, yeah, yeah. I tossed the battle cry. uh,
Okay.
all right. You know what? We're going for evil. We're gonna see if we find
All right.
something here, and
Okay.
if not, then well, oh
Yeah, second foreign wise made it in there.
well. She's generic, right? I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't put humble in this deck. Like
Mm.
that was an oversight
Mm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because that guy would be good. That wouldn't be good. That guy would do something. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, with you negating Esau's land, then kind of don't really have too many options here. Would take the Deceiver.
Classic.
I'll go to block.
Yeah.
All right, let's block with the Deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
Go to reserve for the Begrudging King.
Mm-hmm.
And I will draw one.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, big money, big money, big money. Uh, and play an Edomite from deck. Because I can. Grab the Inhabitants of Seer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my initiative.
I'll play Glory. And I'll activate Temple Veil to look at your hand.
Sure.
All right. Yep. All
I would
right.
have
Your
gotten to
initiative.
draw 2 cards.
No, 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 no.
All right, I'll ask for Dominish.
Yeah.
I will also play Glory.
Mm.
I don't have anything to activate, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give you a token.
All right. I'll play Synagogue Second Coming.
Yep. There it is.
GG.
GG. Yeah, I think the fact that I was drawing my evil characters like one turn at a time was not, or like one each turn was a uh,
It's a
little
little
rough.
rough against
Yeah,
a deck that tries to take out one evil character every turn.
right. Yeah, and then I think the the threat of feudal inquisition, like it made me have to kind of
Hmm.
not be able to draw as much on, or like there was one attack
Yeah,
where I didn't get to bring in captain and
yeah,
all that, and yeah. Hmm. So I probably could have played it a little better, but losing my wives and my terrified chiefs early was rough.
yeah. They were at their weakest and most vulnerable.
Yeah,
Just had the answers to clean them up early.
right. Yeah, I think yeah, humble would have been good. I don't know, maybe wicked lost soul because of nativity. We've been seeing that
Yeah,
people playing that much at
yeah.
all.
I haven't seen anybody play Wicked, but I think it's good against Nativity because I can't like negate it with Res Revealer.
Right. Yeah.
I basically have to like dig for my Son of God or
Yeah.
like just play Mary.
Hmm. Yeah. The so
Even with Wicked out, it's like it's not the end of the world. I can figure out a attack around it usually.
right. Yeah. Yeah. The I mean it's only the first evil enhancement, so it's
Hmm.
if you've got
Yeah.
glory or angel, or it's not, you can play around it
If it could,
fairly.
yeah, if you could give you your Edomite that discards everybody, like regardless of protect, that would be really good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice. You took him out, so especially with playing glory. That was kind of what I was hoping. Like if you didn't have the protect one, then that was the plan. But then you took him out. I'm trying to think if like I guess with glory, I didn't really have a route either way. Like even if I did keep the guy in my hand and not,
Mm, yeah.
then I have crowd's choice for something else. But um, yeah, I think I needed a way to, or I didn't get to a way to get rid of your res revealer so that I could activate this and have that option, basically make you
Mm.
choose something with Mary or something else with Mary. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I guess let's see, is Egypt or Flight to Egypt or whatever, is that harm or evil cards?
Harm.
Oh, okay, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Hmm. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have had a way then.
I
Well,
think I only
the
had one more block against you. With distress coming down to negate Rahab, I could have pushed her in battle. Unless you decide to ban her preemptively.
yeah, so the unfortunate uh part of like me negating your res revealer last turn, what I was thinking of doing was using the stocks of flax, just giving
Mhm.
you two of my characters and taking your res revealer and somebody else, and then
Mhm.
but then I was like, oh wait, if you just block with Herod the Great and then choose
Yeah.
one of the heroes, which like
Yeah.
if I take res revealer, I guess well, I guess that wouldn't have been too bad if I just took your other two angels. I don't know. You could just choose res revealer though, and I didn't have a. Oh, I guess I would have had God is with you. Could have used
Oh
that
yeah.
if you didn't
Yeah.
use Herod's Temple, but uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. The
Can I
so
ask why Stocks of Flax is in the deck? Like what just
yeah,
a little
so kind of the idea was so both Stocks of Flax and then also Faith of Jacob was in there as well, and I just want to try to take your heroes and then use Inhabitants of Seer. So I just do my attack, use a couple draw abilities, and then I just banish your characters from my territory.
Oh,
And
tricky.
Faith of Jacob gets around Herod's Temple. Stocks of Flax
Mm.
doesn't, but uh,
Yeah,
and then
that's
also
that's
like
one way to get rid of Mary. Just yoink her with Faith of Jacob.
right, and then you don't get to Beth Stable or either
Yeah,
because she'll be in
yeah,
my territory.
dude, I love that.
So that was kind of the dream, but didn't quite get there. I think the yeah, I don't know. I was trying to get it down to 50, but maybe with a little more time, I would have gotten there. Probably don't need stocks of flax. Like probably just use Faith of Jacob, but I wanted to I don't know try it out. Thought it'd be kind of fun, kind of cute because you can activate it with Bears of the Ark too, so you could do it mid battle. Basically, just like get one search trigger, then do another search trigger. Bears of the Ark activate stocks of flax to switch them, and then you trigger Inhabitants of Seer to banish right away. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Inhabitants probably just gets negated more often than not anyway.
Yeah,
So
if you're playing against Nativity, if you have evil cards in your territory, there's a good chance Gabriel's just gonna come and pop them one by one.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess with inhabitants, it was more of like a like negated during or like with distressed or something like that.
Oh,
Because it'd
oh,
be negated during my turn would be the important part.
yeah. Okay,
Uh,
I
but
getcha.
yeah. Um, Man, can't believe I didn't put humble in here. I was looking at the list of lost souls and I was like, really, I've got 8 lost souls in here, and it feels like I'm missing something. Like, because I felt like I had too many weird lost souls in, like aimless and color guard and remnant.
Mhm.
Uh,
Remnant. Oh, but you're going real on the takey
yeah,
takey.
yeah, right, yeah. Remnant to take your stuff and then banish it. Yeah.
Mm.
And then with Sheol, you can reuse it after you get the banish off. So
Ooh,
yeah, it's kind of a and
nice.
I kind of liked it. It seemed like a fun idea. I'm
Yeah.
can flesh it out a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, just a little slow. Didn't find my Son of God Second Coming or Woes or Martyr. Yeah, that would have been nice against your Mary.
Yeah.
And then the other part of the defense was I was hoping that Terrified Chiefs and there's the N Hadad or whatever with all the CBP enhancements that Crimson has now. It's like this seems like it would be kind of fun. Like it's kind of similar to like if you're doing the same sort of thing with NT Crimson and Sapphira,
Hmm.
except now
Hmm.
this has 2 options for the negate stuff. The CBP on Terrified Chiefs plus the initiative is kind of nice.
Avoiding
But
Edom is nice if you can resolve it.
right, yeah, yeah, for sure. As long as I actually get cards in your banished pile, which didn't find my banished lost soul. I have ways. I've got King of Edom, Inhabitants of Seer would do it. I don't know.
How many evil characters are you playing? Like 9, 10?
Playing 8
Okay.
and having 0 in the opening hand was unfortunate.
Yeah.
uh, I mean, your odds of, I mean, I guess in 2 cards the odds were kind of small, but like you found or since you knew it was there with Virgin Birth, obviously you can go in to do it. But I guess you had Harvest, Lost Souls, and Hopper that you could hit. So,
Yeah. This nativity build is all focused on just attacking people and making sure like it's really hard to block with the amount of hand information and the cross and all these lost souls they're all offensive. They're all helping my offense. So
right,
it's
yeah,
just like a super aggressive version that plays Angel too.
yeah, yeah. The Angel, I was, uh, or I know you've had kind of that one flex spot, and you've talked about like playing Martyr, Angel, or Crowd's Choice, or
Yeah.
whatever in that slot. And, uh, yeah, the Angel was rough. I was hoping like between all the add to battle stuff with like Worship of Edom and Sheol, like that would help. But it seems like I just never had enough evil characters to add to battle, or didn't have the unity for Sheol when when that came up.
How come it feels like offenses can get all their stuff together kind of quickly, but defenses have like a much harder time doing that? That seems like to be a theme.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I guess because maybe defenses can, if you have enough like territory setup stuff like Golgotha and whatnot. But I think people just don't put the effort into that as much. Like I thought about trying to get endless treasures in here to set up the curses. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I guess because offenses, you can put your characters into battle and just kind of get the, or like you know that you're getting their abilities, whereas defenses are reactive, so you might not necessarily get to activate their abilities depending on what's negated
Mhm.
and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wonder if let's see. So the first time that I went with stone carriers, blocked with Herod's guard, and then Herod. Oh yeah, then you did the Herod's temple. So I'm wondering if well, just trying to think if
Are you playing officiators at all?
yeah, was, but they're not unique, so I can't go to them with stone carriers.
Oh, I didn't
Uh,
know that. Yeah, okay.
but I was trying to figure out a way, like if there was a line where I could get to officiators to get rid of Herod's temple, and then uh, I don't know. I'm thinking of kind of like Tyler's, or like the offense that Tyler was showing, where he has officiators in reserve, so that Joshua can just grab him
Yeah,
on turn
that
two.
does seem good. Yeah.
Um, yeah, especially because I cut Buck, or no, I didn't. I did keep Buckler in here. Hmm.
Are you
Yeah, I guess
playing
I was thinking because I had,
sword?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So I
okay.
think because I was playing Buckler and Crowd's Choice, that's why I kept it in the main deck, just because I had enough ways to get to it early. I think, but yeah, probably better in reserve.
Mm.
I was kind of hoping that I would get to ban to your Herod the Great at some point, being an Edomite and all.
Oh, the Edomite. Let's see, who bans the Edomites? The King of Edom.
Yeah, King of
Bunch of you guys.
Edom. Uh, he actually might be the only one that I kept in here.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
banding on defense definitely not as powerful as banding on offense.
yeah, yeah, because it just gets negated. I feel like that's the problem, but that's kind of why I like King of Edom with CBI. But then he just gets negated in the before the block. Have you been testing out much other or outside of nativity?
No, I've just been trying out this newer, more aggressive build,
Sure.
seeing how I like it. Because I have to trim defense slots. And since I'm playing Coliseum, I can't really play like my favorite No Straw and Abandonment and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's like a pretty big sacrifice to play Cross and Coliseum because I lose those big enhancements that are so good against Joshua and the types of offenses I'm really scared of.
right. Yeah, the all the banding stuff. Yeah, it was kind of. I don't know. That's. I feel like the the advantage, I guess, of playing your defense like that, where like I was able to get through as long as I was more conservative with my attacks. So I was coming in with like a lone hero, or like you had to do the stone carriers thing first to make sure that you wouldn't get initiative, just to do like one of the chump blocks. But
Yeah.
then by doing that, I lose out on kind of the momentum from getting all the like chaining of abilities, and getting the captain draws and all that. So then, even though your defense doesn't necessarily stop me from getting the lost soul. It's basically I have to choose between the resources or the lost soul.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely good. Gonna have to go back to the refining board or drawing board, I guess, and how to beat it. Maybe I got to talk to Matt, I guess.
Yep. All right. I'll see you around, Jaden.
We'll catch you later then.